AM 970 WSTX.
All right. It's that time again. Super Thursday. Great, fantastic, outstanding, just plain excellent Thursday here with Reflections on WSTX AM 970. All right. Good morning, world. Bring it closer to home. Good morning, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John. Good morning to the whole Caribbean, South America, going down under. All right. Good morning, Europe, Africa, all the way up into the Netherlands. Good morning. Good morning, U.S., Canada, all the way up to my friends up there in Alaska. Hey, I'd visit, but for a very, very short time. Okay, all right. Anyhow, if you need me to box up some sunshine, let me know and we'll see what we could do. Wow, we have so much to be thankful for on this wonderful Thursday. And of course, you know, it starts with Thursday. So when you hear my good friend Doc Peterson come in Friday and say, well, it ain't Friday till I say it's Friday, he counting on the fact that, hey, it starts with Thursday. All right, lots of things going on here in these great Virgin Islands. Lots of interesting things going on. And, of course, we'll talk about a few of those things. We're expecting some call-ins from some folks who are traveling but have good things to talk about what relates to these Virgin Islands, and we'll see if that pans out accordingly, and we'll move according to how we need to move here. But I want to revisit something that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. Okay? You know, people are saying, man, my foot hurting. Okay? And then they see somebody that ain't got no foot, and their perspective change. Now, why am I saying this? Because many of us who are otherwise healthy and have all of our extremities and can walk, sit, run, we take these things for granted every day. It's just there. We take it for granted. Now, once upon a time in a place called United States, there was a law passed called the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that was out of recognition that there are folks that may have physical challenges that also want to have quality of life, and that we should be required to make sure that we build in a way, construct in a way that is, how should I say, embracing. One of the things that used to happen once upon a time, they had attitude and stigma and so forth and so on. They want to keep people in the house and, you know, don't want to take them out on the road and this, that, and the other, because there was all kind of stigma or whatever, because a child or an adult had a particular disability. Well, gone are those days. Gone because of education and because we as a people have risen to another level. Okay? We want to believe that we have arrived, but some things have been going on recently that tell me we haven't arrived. Now, the way I see it, some of our government agencies behave as though what they're saying is that if you have a disability and you need to do business with us, send somebody else. You don't come. We don't want to deal with you. Now, if that sounds rough and crude and just plain wrong, well, first of all, it is. But you know what? If you go to a government agency and a wheelchair requires 33 inches to get through the door, and they got double doors that's 28 inches each, it means that you in your wheelchair, and I want you to imagine this, you in your wheelchair, you roll up to the door, you got to reach out both of your hands to pull the door open, and then somehow propel yourself in the door. Think about it now. Now, I know that this particular agency 2 years ago did an ADA assessment and they know about the problem. Now, let's just say for conversation that one of those sliding doors like what they have at Kmart, one of those doors that swing open like what they have at Innovative. Yes, I'm going to call the names because those things are an attempt to bring ADA compliance to a level that makes it convenient for everyone. Everyone is equal. Okay? So, but just let's say that one of those doors costs $10,000. Now, this is a government agency, then they can't budget $10,000 to fix the door so people could come in regardless of their level of ability. What is government agency did it for? It ain't to serve the people. That's what I know. All right? Now, I'm talking about this because it's sickening that 2 years later, this government agency still is hostile to people with disabilities. And I don't mean that an individual is hostile. I'm saying as an agency. Okay? Now, in this case, I'm going to call name. I'm talking about WAPA. Okay? I'm going to call name. I'm talking about WAPA here in Sunny Isle. 2 years later, that problem that everybody knew about for 5 years before that hasn't been addressed. Okay? Now, if you have a disability that requires you to be in a motorized chair or a wheelchair, and you go there to pay your bill, and Mother Nature should say that you need to make a pit stop, I am sorry to inform you, but the bathrooms that they have available to the public and the bathrooms that they have inside for the employees, that your wheelchair will not make it in the door. Okay? 2 years later, your wheelchair or motorized vehicle will not make it in the door. And worse yet, if somehow you get in there on your motorized vehicle, let's say your motorized vehicle is narrow enough to get in, you will not be able to turn around to get out. Okay? And I am telling you that because I tested that with the help of someone who uses such a chair, and we caught our tail trying to get it out of there. If it wasn't for me and somebody else and help to get that thing out of there, it wasn't coming out. 2 years later, what you saying about your concept of service to the people of the Virgin Islands? So tell me now, 7730390, 7730490. Do you agree that what they're saying is that if you have a disability, don't come here, send somebody else? Okay? If you feel up to it, call and comment on that, okay? Because that's what I think is being said. You can figure out these millions of dollars to bring in these big tanks and cover them up and set us up for propane. Okay? All the electronic updates, the changes to the turbines, you could get the money for those things, but you can't find the money to fix the door and take the 2 minuscule bathrooms and make them into one large bathroom that is unisex and ADA compliant. There's an old saying that where there's a will, there's a way. So what's lacking here? The will? Surely can't be the money. Comes down to the will. Okay. So, folks, I am not bashing WAPA. WAPA just happens to be the one example that I started out with because we're going someplace next. Okay? And I'm saying this to you who are walking fine today, and you don't know that tomorrow something could happen and you might be the person who's in the wheelchair. Okay? It's one of those things that we take for granted, and hopefully this little conversation is going to help to sensitize people that, hey, there but for the grace of God go any one of us, and we have a duty to make sure that we make the ADA compliant changes necessary, if for no other reason, because of the law. What are we waiting for? For somebody to file a complaint and somebody in Washington who or someplace else in the States that is involved with enforcement to come down here and on a vacation and to concurrently check and fine us? Come on, man. The idea of government and leadership is to not just deal with the problems as they come, but to look forward and set policy and make changes so that we could eliminate some of these problems are ever coming up in the first place. Okay, so now that's WAPA. All right, lots of good, great people that work at WAPA give great customer service, helpful, and everything else. But when it comes to ADA, they are getting a failing grade for wheelchair access and for ADA compliant bathrooms. All right, next up. So you figure you got to pay your WAPA bill, okay? You just got to WAPA, struggle to the back of your car, get out your wheelchair, set it up, go inside, trying to get business done, and somehow you manage to get through the doors, and somehow you manage not to have to use the bathroom there. Because you know that across the street by Department of Finance, they have ADA compliant bathrooms there, and I need to go over there to pay my property tax anyhow. So I'll take care of my business and my other business over there. So now you get back out, check apart your motorized vehicle, and use the built-in hoist in your car to get it back up into the thing and struggle, get back in the car, drive across the street. Okay, and this time you say, well, you know what? I don't want to go through all of that with the wheelchair again. I'm going to use my walker. So they come out of the car in the walker, and when you see them move and utilize a walker, you know that it takes effort, and you know that it's something that you have to have empathy for the person in terms of making sure when they reach to the door that if you happen to be there, you go open the door for them to get them in. Okay? Because we don't have no automatic opening doors there either. Okay? So now they get inside, they gone and they pay their property tax. Okay? Now they need to use the bathroom. So the guard that's there, we back up. They use right there by property tax, as you come in the building there, they have male and female ADA compliant bathrooms there. But guess what? They're locked. And so they asked the guard, who was a person visible there at the time, and the guard says, well, all the way down the hallway, I have these bathrooms, use those. So the person struggled all the way down the hall, got to the bathroom, and what? They're non-compliant for ADA. And so it's possible, because they don't have any bars inside or whatever, that a person could fall down and injure themselves in the bathroom because they don't have these bars necessary that they have to hold on to get themselves in and out of the stall properly. Okay? Now, This person that it happened to, because this is not a make-up story, would swear on the Bible in court if necessary. So now I want to hear the other side of the story from inside. Well, the inside, what we're being told is that they have a process where when somebody comes in the door and if they look like they might have special needs, that they're approached and told about the bathrooms and if they need help, this, that, da, 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 da. Well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Okay? And the reality is that there is no such working policy, number one. And number two, the most important thing, it is very insulting when you suggest that somehow or the other you can look at anyone and determine whether or not, okay, calm down here, dog, calm down, okay? Yeah, I know this one bothering you, dog, but calm down, okay? It is very insulting when you suggest that you can look at someone and tell whether or not they have a disability. And you're going to tell them then that they should come in and announce to somebody that I have a disability and in case I need to use the bathroom, where's the bathroom? That's the first thing. No, they came in there to pay their property tax. Like everybody else that own property, pay their property tax. Okay? So now, why should they have to go through all of these changes? Now, I want to say that the person from time to time has to go to that building, and every time they go there, they check the bathroom doors and they're locked. And you know what? They make sure that they have their business taken care of long before they get there because they won't check in because they need it. So we know over an extended period of time that those bathrooms are kept locked. So, Jamila Russell, is it that these bathrooms are supposed to be locked, that it's okay for them to be locked? Why they don't lock the ones all the way down the hall and use the ADA bathrooms like a unisex type bathroom or for the universal bathrooms for everybody to use? I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you this. The problem was reported to the commissioner, okay? And the commissioners who was told by the staff there that they have this policy of looking at people and determining whether or not they need special needs and to tell them about the bathroom or whatever, the policy that they don't do. All right? So if I hitting hard, I ain't hitting hard for me. I'm trying to be a voice for sometimes those who don't raise their voices enough. Persons with special needs. You should not have to feel like, okay, you have to ask somebody to come and unlock it. But let's just say that they had a good reason for keeping them locked, just for purpose of discussion. I want to give them every possible opportunity to redeem themselves. And let's say they had put a sign on the door that's saying, bathrooms locked, if you need assistance, please let the receptionist or guard know. Patience. Because after you pay your property tax, come out, going out, and you go to the bathroom and the door locked, you know what to do. Or, let's say, if they had a buzzer by those bathrooms, so if you come there and you have a hot one, you got to go. You ain't got time to struggle to go down the hall to find the guard or to go and find somebody, that you could press the button and it will ring by somebody's desk and somebody will come out and help you. All right? Now, folks, we're talking about ADA and we're talking about taking care of our people, taking care of all our people. That's inclusive of persons with special needs. Otherwise, as you say out there, people with a handicap. All right. Now, either we real or we not. So WAPA, get with the program. Department of Finance, get with the program. And Commissioner, please don't let whoever it is blow that smoke up your tail do it again, okay? Because they told you one thing and something else is happening. And it's documented. Don't let these people get you embarrassed because they're covering their tail for how slack they run in things, okay? And now, with that, I am talking about regards to the ADA bathrooms. Because when I go to Department of Finance, doing business with as a resident agent or for myself, I get great customer service. I don't have an issue with individuals. Okay? This is not about an individual. This is about Department of Finance as an entity, as an institution, rendering the services it should render, including for those that the ADA law was passed for. So this is not a personal thing. It's what they're supposed to do. What they have a law for, what they have a budget for, and what they're supposed to do. So now, they need to change their door too, so you open up automatic. But hey, that's a whole nother story. And I'm going to talk about this and talk about this and talk about this from time to time until they do something about it. And when they do, I will come back and report on it. Okay? But 2 years later, they did their ADA compliance study. They know about these problems. So let's do something. Let's take care of our fellow man, please. Anyhow, I'm going to get off of that soapbox. I'm going to let my engineer here play this music and put me in a different frame of mind so I can get off this negative bridge and into the positive. All right. It's been great. We're going to take a break and we'll be back in a minute.
Keep it on the X. AM 970 WSTX.
All right. I'm back in the groove. Back in the groove. I'm calm. I'm cool. All that talk with the ADA and how we da treat our people sometimes that just got me all worked up. You know, the song said man to man is so unjust. Oh Lord, it be. Well, hey. I just it gets me going, folks. It gets me going. We have to take care of each other here. All right? And everybody is equal in terms of what government is supposed to do for people. All right? And people with needs that ADA is designed to address are people too. Okay? So, anyhow, I see we got Miss Cecily Tyson in the house. Oh my goodness, not Cecily Tyson. Cecily, I keep doing that to you. But you know, you are a celebrity in the house. So, Miss Cecily, we got a call here, okay?
Morning.
Okay, good. Good morning, WSTX Reflections. Welcome.
Reflection, Cecily Tyson is a big time celebrity, you know. So you gotta get your T's and your dots and I's and cross your T's and dots your I's. Make sure it's Miss Cecily Tyson. I'm sure the lady there is just as beautiful and attractive, but
Yes.
it's Cecily Tyson.
Turn some heads there for sure.
I just wanted to know what got your gander this morning, because I mean, there's something you were talking about. It's something to do with elderly people or disabled people.
ADA. Anybody with a handicap special need.
Yeah.
And it ain't just this
the
morning.
bathroom?
Yeah. Well, you see what happened, Miss Bass. It's as simple as this, right? Okay. People is people, and the ADA law was there passed to make sure that everybody get treated fairly and right in that sense.
Equally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in this case, that's why I have requirements for having doors that swing open automatically. Okay?
Right.
And
having
so
ramps and bathroom facilities that when you go in the bathroom,
Miss
it
Bass,
helps them.
when you go to WAPA, a wheelchair need 33 inches of width to go through. They got double door there, and each door is 28 inches, which means that you would be in your wheelchair. You gotta reach forward, hold both doors with your hands, and to open them, and then figure out how you gonna get your wheelchair in.
I see what you mean.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, the little bathroom they have there that have a male and a female section, the wheelchair can't get in. A narrow motorized vehicle might get in, but it will not get back out unless multiple people ratchet it out of there. Okay?
What?
And all they gotta do is widen the door and turn that bathroom into a unisex bathroom, put in the bars and everything else, and
Yeah.
and at least they could say then they're really serving the public. Okay?
But when they do get inside, do they have a lot of white space? Do they have space
No,
inside when they get inside?
this is what I'm telling you, Miss
It's just
Bass.
it's just the entrance you're talking about. The
No,
entrance.
no, it's inside too. It's like two little narrow stall. You got narrow.
Okay.
I'm saying, Miss Bass, even if you get in a little hallway to get to them, you can't turn the chair to get into the stall. The person must be able to get up out of their chair and somehow struggle inside there.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's evil. I
But
call it evil. Evil.
but you know what? I could tell you for a fact that 2 years ago, a ADA assessment was done. So at least 2 years ago, they knew about it. Okay?
But Senator Canton, let me tell you something. I'm sure everybody has had some similar conversation like we're having right now about the way. I mean, most of the time you think of the more senior people that might need to go to a bathroom, even if it's not ADA, right? They might need they're shopping in a place and they need to use a restroom, and why these places don't have a restroom facility? Some of them don't, or if they do, they say that it's for the employees, and I mean, somebody's spending money, and on top of that, I mean, they could push it that an accident happens now with that person, and they get more work to do because I see it happen already down in Sunny Island.
Well, Miss Barnes.
I see an elderly lady, she had an accident, and it was of the worst kind, and everything was all over the floor and different thing because she probably wanted to do something and she was around and maybe she couldn't get a place where and I'm glad that the government is putting a lot of those kind of facilities around. Hello? Lord God, I can't talk on the phone.
The law is set up as such that these places are supposed to have facilities. Okay?
Well, just a minute, Senator. Let me call you back.
Okay, good.
Let me call you back. Okay.
Good. Okay.
No.
Right. So, but the bottom line is that the law is there. Okay? It's just a matter of the will. And usually the will is related to, is it going to cost me anything to do it? Okay? Well, what they don't know is that if in fact that person makes a complaint and an inspection comes back and done and is documented that ABC and XYZ, that costs going to be worse then because they're going to get fined for it.
Yeah.
Okay? And so it's one of those things where they have to look at it. You can't afford not to be compliant. When you're in a place that you expect hundreds of people to come in through, you have to have. That's why when you go into the Kmarts and so forth and so on, they have the bathroom there. Yeah. All the other stores have bathroom too, and if you ask, you'll get to use the bathroom. The most might happen is that they might they might need to have somebody accompany you to go in because it might be back where they have inventory or whatever, so to make sure that you go to the bathroom and come straight back out, Okay? So yeah, so that's something that it didn't just get me today. I've been walking in the background trying to get folks to do something, and it's like background ain't walking no more. So now we have to bring it to the forefront. Okay? I have all respect and faith in the capabilities of the Commissioner of Finance. I don't have any questions about the Commissioner of Finance in that context. Okay? And I think it's unfortunate that the folks who put this policy in place have put him at risk, okay, by trying to suggest to him that somehow or the other this policy that they don't really implement aggressively could work. Okay? So in that context, he and his friends and his workers may not like the fact that I'm talking about it publicly. The folks at WAPA and the management, they might not like the fact that I'm talking about it publicly. But you know what? I'm talking facts. I'm talking the law. And this is something that if we the people say enough is enough, it's going to change.
And I mean, if you go any place in certain areas when it's ADA compliant, the doors slide open. Why is it you're going to have an ADA individual have to pull on something when they already don't have their own personal issues to deal with?
Cecily, this is why I wish you heard when I started out. This is why I'm saying these institutions have an attitude that somehow or the other, if you have special needs, don't come here. Send somebody else. We ain't want to be bothered with that. That's what they're saying.
Nonsense.
Even if they don't use the word, Cecily, that is what they are saying. And I'm saying to the public that, hey, enough is enough. All right? In the case of WAPA, we could spend all that money to put in them big tanks for propane and so forth and so on, and we can't change the door. We can't find money to fix the bathroom.
A little thing like that. Yeah.
Relatively speaking, a little thing like that. Okay? So it really comes down to the fact that out of sight, out of mind, because you know what? Management don't use them bathrooms.
Exactly.
Okay? And management ain't, as far as I know, don't have anyone with special needs that have an issue with opening the door. Okay? Who feels it knows it. They don't feel it, so they don't know it. This is why a law had to be passed and said, look, even if you don't feel it to know it, we are telling you you're required to know it and to take appropriate steps. Okay? And that's really what it's all about. I will be so happy when I don't have to talk about this. I will be so, so, so happy. And you know what? All the folks for independent living, all the folks with special needs that are outside of independent living, all the people that use the library for the blind and special needs, all of those people will be so happy to know that their community is that much more embracing of them being able to go to places that the public have a right to go. They are part of the public. Okay?